Welcome to yet another episode, a collaboration between Drunken Dabbler and Neel Lifestyle. We are here on a hot summer morning here in Meadows, with this beautiful setting here. This is something I really like. Whenever we do something, I always want to be in touch with nature, with Mother Earth. And the topic we chose today is also something which is very close to nature and to be more specific about human nature. So, what is the reason behind human nature? Why humans behave in a certain way? How nature affects us, affects our behavior, and what the most important thing is, what can we learn from it? What is the truth behind all this? So it's gonna be a very kind of an esoteric topic, but I'm sure both myself and Neel will make it as light-hearted and keep it simple as possible.
Yes. We're going to speak to you about something that is quite new. A lot of people who are into dating and game would understand this, but this is a very generic, high-level topic that is applicable to everyone, no matter what you're into. It's just basically social. It's all about social dynamics, all about psychology, all about your perspective on life and how you view the people around you and the world around you, and the world you live in specifically. So, how would you like to start with this?
Yeah, to start with, as you said, as you put it in perspective, it's more about social interactions. So how people perceive us. We're always concerned about how people perceive us when we go inside, when we meet new people, when we start mingling with a new group of people who we do not know, apart from our family or friends. So their perception of you and your perception of them, it plays a big role
Yeah.
in how you feel and how the people feel about you. And there are certain, we always as a society, we are brought up with certain set of rules. There are certain unspoken rules of the society which are there because of our history of civilization, which spans over roughly 5,000 years or so. So there are certain norms which kept changing, but overall there are certain unspoken rules. So these unspoken rules are in this kind of an if I use a specific terminology, it's called blue pill. Let's just keep it simple. So anybody who follows the societal norms and tries to blend in with the society is considered blue pill. Anybody who is not, who is kind of an outlier, I wouldn't say outlier, who realizes that these are only unspoken rules and they can be broken, but it's up to them whether they want to break it or not, then those people are called red pill. So this is a terminology which has been popularized in 2001 by the famous movie The Matrix, where literally they use these they had like two pills, like one the blue colored pill and there's a red colored pill, and the hero of the story, he has to decide like which one is he going to choose. So he chooses the red pill, and that makes him very powerful in the sense it's not physical strength, it's just that he is able to realize the earth, nature, or human nature for what it is. So it puts him on a level above
The rest.
the rest. So he's on a different playing field above the rest. It gives an advantage.
Yeah. In other words, what Charan just mentioned, blue pill believers or followers are people who only follow society and who look for social proof, right? And red pill believers or followers are people who are pragmatic and who are just realistic in their thinking and who question everything, all theories, all beliefs, all norms in society. A red pill, if you have a red pill friend, he's the one who's asking you, but why are we doing this? We don't have to do this. We can do something different. Why? But why? 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 even like I have some friends who question everything about even their own religion. Why are we praying? Why are we doing this prayer on Wednesday? And why are we doing eating this on this day because of this ritual and because of this? So those people are red pill believers. There are many other pills, but we're not going to get too much in depth. There's this purple pill, there's orange pill. We're going to stick to the two main
Gold
beliefs.
pill and black pill, whatnot. I think it's getting too. It's like sort of a cult. Human beings always have this tendency to, you know, to be very tribal. So they start gathering around with people who they feel that are in tune with their beliefs. So we always try to form different kinds of cults. That's the single reason why you find so many political parties, so many religions. Even within religions, there are so many subsections and so many things. You know what I'm talking about. So we won't go into the details. We want to be keep it as simple as possible and just identify what are the advantages you have by being red pill, or even blue pill also has its advantages.
Yes.
So it's up to everybody to make a choice at the end of the day who you want to be.
Exactly. So in my particular case, when I'm thinking back now, I would say that blue pill people, they might always imitate others, and they might be people pleasers more than red pill people because they want to fit in, and they think like, let's say most people obviously don't know about blue pill, red pill, and why they don't question their own thinking, right? So the blue pill followers are constantly um, thinking that fitting in is actually beneficial for them in terms of making friends, in terms of being part of society, in terms of making more friends maybe, and in order to be liked by people. But however, red pill understands that that's not really important to me, to them in the short term, because they want to grow to different levels and succeed in something. So I think red pill people are a lot more brave, courageous, confident confidence in terms of not giving too much of a shit whether other people like them or no. They just are comfortable in their own skin, um, and that kinds of that's why a lot of people encourage red pill and don't and discourage blue pill.
Yeah,
Do you agree with that?
yeah, of course. You rightly pointed out the difference in mindset
Yeah.
of somebody who is blue pill and somebody who thinks in a red pill way. But
Yeah.
just one point to note is that when you are born, and when nobody is born red pill, to be honest, because when you are born and then you are brought up by your parents, and then you learn from the society, you are nurtured by the society, so you will be blue pill for sure, and you have to be also. And after a certain point in life, I think it's only the people who dig deep, who actually question things, they realize this, the real truth, and they become red pill. So that is why you won't find a lot of mainstream people who are red pill. In fact, I would say everybody is blue pill. It's only a certain small sect of people who have the understanding, so they are called red pill. So as Neel rightly pointed out, it's mostly about your mindset. So if you feel that before doing any task, if you feel that you're doing it because somebody else is doing it, or because everybody else is doing it, or because the society tells you that it is the right thing to do, then you would be blue pill. Everybody is to a certain extent. It's not wrong. It's also good because it minimizes the risks, in your life. And from an evolutionary viewpoint, when you minimize risks to your life, basically you are avoiding certain dangers of going into becoming, going into poverty, and then that will lead to death, right? So the whole the why the purpose of life is to keep you alive. I mean, and to have a better standard of living.
Survival.
So in that way, the blue pill conditioning is good because
Yeah.
it gives you a certain platform. It doesn't let you fall, but because you are taking too many risks. But having said that, if you want to reach the top of the pyramid, if you want to reach the top, which there are only a few people at the top of the pyramid, right? Why? Because then because they have taken higher risks than the rest of the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid. So with high risks, there are higher rewards for sure. So realizing this and then taking calculated risks is what in my mindset, is what I believe as a Red Pill understanding.
I think great people and successful people today, they actually know how to use red pill and blue pill in their life at different times. For example, at social gatherings, when they know that they have to fit in more with people and they have to make connections when they need to make connections, they tap into their blue pill side of them, if you may call it, and if when they wanna, in terms of and activities or elements, when they wanna reach new heights, they use the red pill philosophy to avoid criticism, to escape the fear of judgment, and etc. etc. So it's very important for everybody to understand that you don't have to be extreme red pill, extreme blue pill, but use a balance of the two philosophies and mindsets in your life, and for the right purpose, know when to use both and why to use both.
Yeah, it's all about the balance in the end.
Yeah.
I would feel that because I have a little bit of interest in learning about philosophy. So I have read the Hindu philosophy because I was brought up in that religion. I've also read Buddhism. There is Zen. There are like Western philosophy as well. There is Stoicism, which came from Greece, and especially like Socrates, Aristotle, the Greek philosophers. They had like a really advanced understanding of philosophy. I'm a big fan of Zen philosophy, especially Buddhism, because Buddhism always tries to stay balanced. The whole ideology is to stay stoic. So whatever turmoil could happen around you, it could be extreme pleasure, or it could be extreme pain. So you need to treat both of them equally and try to stay stoic in a way that is actually red pill, because you understand why it's happening. It's happening because certain physiological reactions inside your body, and also because the way nature is reacting around you. So because I believe even 2000 years back, Buddha had a great understanding of this. Of course, there would be criticism saying that if you, Buddha renounced everything, and then he became an ascetic. So he did not. People would say he didn't have ambition, like he didn't want to be like a king, or he didn't want to grow. He left everything. He was in fact a king, and then he left everything and became an ascetic. So that is like one extreme side of red pill, and the extreme side of blue pill would be somebody who is very ambitious, who wants to hold power and be the king and control the entire environment around him or her. So yeah, finding the balance and tapping into the right energies of red pill and blue pill at the right times would be the ideal case.
I just wanted to bring up something. When he said the typical types of red pill and blue pill kind of people. So in terms of like relationships and dating, a blue pill kind of person is like, because we all have friends like this, which is why I'm bringing it up briefly here. We all have friends who are way too nice all the time, and who don't show any dominance, who don't show their interest in the beginning, and who are what you call doormats. And those people are the ones who constantly trying to fit in and not showing their true colors and their intentions. So they just keep getting friend zoned, and girls keep walking over them, or vice versa. Guys keep walking over them, and this is an example of a blue pill person when it comes to dating. And a red pill is just someone who adopts the abundance mindset, and who doesn't think that, okay, because I can't get this girl or this guy, my life is over and I don't know what I'm going to do. They know that they know how vast the world is, and they know that it's up to them to make a change and to go out and take action. That's simply put like that. So it's interesting that the red pill blue pill can apply to so many parts of your life, not just one area.
Yeah, it was a very good example, Neel. It's very specific to like dating, but again, dating falls under the sphere of social interactions. So that's a very specific example. Again, as he pointed out, it's the same person, but how they react, how they perceive things, and just a change in mindset, can make all the difference. If you think that, oh, this person is the only one that's existing, and I'm gonna give my everything for this particular person, that's one mindset, like blue pill. And there's another mindset that, no, why not? The world is so huge. There are so many people. I'm sure I will find the right person with whom I have a good chemistry.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, it's a simple change in mindset.
Yeah.
So just taking it like one step further, or making it even more generalized. Like every social interaction, like be it in school, you were in high school, you were in a class, you had some friends. Naturally, you would feel that certain people, there are bullies, and they always pick on the soft targets. Why? Because the soft targets, they somehow you know uh, portray the energy of being nice, that they won't stand up for themselves, because it could be due to fear or whatever reason. But you know you the people who are stronger, they know they can pick on them. So, but it's only a difference in mindset. You feel, oh, he might hurt me, I might get hurt, so I will do whatever this guy says, and I'm okay to be bullied. But again, think of it in a red pill way. You could be that, okay, what will happen? Let me just say no. Let me just say no and see what happens. So maybe I will get like punched, which is the same case.
Yeah.
Even in the earlier case, I was gonna get punched. But here, you're taking a chance. You're taking a risk. Maybe that person, realizes that, oh, okay, now suddenly this guy has got some spine, so maybe I should be careful, or maybe he could go to the class headmaster or principal and complain. So see, it's just a difference in mindset, that you taking a risk, can change the whole situation.
Exactly. So, despite what Charan is saying over here, um, I mean, there was actually a bully in my high school, grade 11, where he was actually the opposite of this. Though most bullies, they pick their prey accordingly to who is more responsive and who's more calm and who would fight back. But this bully, he used to bully everybody who used to fight back only, not the bullies, not the guys who used to be very timid and afraid. Because that bully had a different mindset, I guess. That bully wanted to only, he wanted to show that he's the biggest guy in the classroom, and he didn't want anyone to talk back to him. So that's a different kind of bully now. We're talking
Yeah,
about.
you pointed out, how this, you pointed out about dominance, like this guy wanted to be the dominant one in the entire classroom. It's natural. Again, it comes from nature, right? Because we evolved from primates. If you look at the ape families, chimpanzees or gorillas, they all have the hierarchy. So they prove the male the who proves that he has the highest dominance wins the mating rights for the entire group, and he gets to pick, you know, the best food that is available, the best resource that is available. So because we evolved from primates, that nature is still within us. We can't deny it. So in any kind of social environment, you put a group of human beings, they'll always try to arrange themselves in a kind of a hierarchy. But again, people are born different. So if somebody is born with a good genetics because they are just powerful, they have stronger bones and stronger muscles, it does not mean that that person is going to be the dominant, because you have other strengths. Sometimes sometimes just being brave in the heart can actually make a big difference. It can make you stronger than the person who is physically stronger. Actually, if you have a brave heart, if you have the brave heart to stand up stand up and show a fight, just be show some resistance. And if you're willing to take that risk, sometimes you can be stronger. So of course we are born with so many everybody has a different kind of strength within them. Sometimes in a certain situation, being physically strong is not the dominant, or it's not the dominating solution. In some cases, some solutions can be solved by being smart, right? So in those situations, the guy who has the good wits is the dominant one. So you need to, again, it comes with the abundance mindset. If you feel that you have to believe in yourself, trust the strengths that are within you, and don't be afraid to showcase those strengths.
Yeah, exactly.
In
He
some
just-
situations, it may not work,
Yeah,
but where it works, you will reap the best rewards.
correct.
So that's the whole, the positive, the one big thing I will take from Red Bull.
Yeah, and he just mentioned the word brave heart. Now that again comes down to mindset, and that it just proves to show, based on the last 15 minutes of this conversation, how important mindset is. And there's also a quote that I read, which says, once you set your mind to something, once your mindset is fixed and you know that you're going to do something, then you're halfway there, because the rest 50% is the action you're going to take. But if you don't get the mindset fixed and right in the beginning, then there's no way you can succeed in that task.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, and I have to talk about positive feedback loops as well here. So, once you take a certain step, do something different, take a risk, and if you get a small reward, then it boosts you to take a 10% higher risk next time.
Yeah.
So you move to the next level. Sometimes you can get get rejected. Sometimes you will get what you want. So you go 2 steps further, maybe 1 step down. Again you keep trying 2 steps further, then you are lucky 2 steps further. So after a certain point, it's like like in mathematics there is the exponential curve. So you start slow, and after a certain point you just break the that resistance or critical point, as they would say, and then boom,
Get momentum. Yeah.
you get the momentum. Then it will be very difficult to stop you.
True.
This can be applied to anything, like any skill that you have to learn in life, be it playing the musical instrument, or just picking up a new skill, a new subject, or a sport, or even social interactions. Like as I said, why don't you just go and stand up to the person who is bullying you one day, so he backs away. That gives you tremendous confidence. Then the next time you face a certain situation, you know that you have the positive experience behind you. You know that you can face the situation. That gives you the belief. So again, you display the same positive behavior, and you get the same reactions. So and then you keep going on this steep
Yeah, and
learning
as
curve.
you keep taking action, those same activities or actions they come more from your subconscious reprogramming, and not from your conscious programming. Means that you won't be actually aware that you're doing them, but you're actually doing them. For example, when the first time you drive a car, you're aware that your foot is on the gas or on the brake, but eventually once you master the skill, within a few weeks you don't realize you're playing music, you're singing, but you don't consciously realize where your foot is. That's a very good example of what he's talking about as well. There's one thing I wanted to, last thing I wanted to talk about before we ask the audience any questions. Maybe even if you have questions, is that so I'm doing this program since about a month, and it's essentially teaches you it essentially teaches you how to create your own online agency, and you have to send proposals online to clients who are looking for the skill sets that you have, right? And it's very interesting that the red pill blue pill philosophy even applies to sales to such a large extent, because sometimes I've got my proposals reviewed by mentors, and they've told me that you sound too needy and you sound like you're willing to do everything for them, and that's not necessarily a good thing, because you're not showing your true value. You're not showing that you have so many other clients, and that even you have to pick your clients, not just clients have to pick you. So sometimes you have to turn the tables around. You be the one on top, and you start looking down and you pick your clients, even though you're a freelancer. Then being the one who just accepts any kind of job who's out there. So it teaches you that as well, and that's a very red pill philosophy as well.
Yeah, good you brought out this topic about work. In my viewpoint, I would say life is sales.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I mean, in every single interaction in life, you are selling yourself, your skills essentially, to a prospective employer, a prospective client, a prospective partner, a girlfriend, or a person you want to marry. Even your friend circle, you are selling that you are a good person to be around, that you are fun to be around, so people gather around you, your friends want to make plans with you. So yeah, essentially life is sales. If like exactly what Neel said, There are a couple of movies like which comes to my mind. There is one called Glengarry Glen Ross. So it came up with this famous quote called "Always be closing."
Okay.
So in life is sales, and in life you always have to be closing any opportunity that you see, and at the right time, as he pointed out, you need to have certain boundaries. So you can't let people take advantage of you, and and you need to create certain kind of value so that people want you because they value you.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of flipping the script. Although you are selling yourself, you need to sell from a higher vantage point.
Yeah.
Like you need to be at a kind of a peak where you already have that value,
Yeah.
and people who are coming to you, people who want you to help them because they have identified your value. So and that is why they are willing to pay a certain remuneration for you doing
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So that's very important. One person who had this naturally was, if you remember, you would have watched this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
A famous
Really
one.
good movie.
So it was based on a real person. He's called Jordan Belfort. So this guy, he naturally had this red pill thinking, and he was very, very good in sales. So of course, as shown in the movie, you know how he rose to the top. Of course, there are certain pitfalls as well, which you need to avoid if you go. I wouldn't say pitfalls. It's just the part and parcel of being on this high trajectory. Imagine like if you have like so much power, then a lot of things are drawn towards you. It's so difficult to avoid
Yeah.
certain things. People don't realize. People at the normal plane, they feel certain things are good or bad. This is a very blue pill thinking. The good, bad.
Yeah.
Having this kind of a dichotomy.
Yeah.
But life is like a whole like shades
is
of
not-
gray. Like it's all like more than 50
Exactly.
shades of gray. I
Life
would
is not
say.
black and white. Life is full of colors. It's full of grays. It's
Yeah,
a
it's all
spectrum.
gray areas.
Everything
Once
is-
you put yourself in another person's point of view, then you realize that okay, for that person, because he is having so many opportunities, for him certain things are good, certain things are bad. But for you, there will be a lot of things which are bad, only few things which are good. So again, this understanding comes from our Red Pill philosophy.
Yeah.
Wolf
If you
of
know
Wall Street, The Wall Street,
Yeah.
all these movies.
If you know any other movies, then message us in the comments, and we'd love to see those movies because this is a topic that really touches our hearts all the time and really captivates our attention. So we'd be keen to hear from you.
Yeah, there are books as well. There's a book, Black Swan, by Nassim Taleb. It also talks about basically taking risks, how you need to do something which the rest of the world is not doing. That is the way you achieve success, move towards the top. If it comes to social interactions, again, you can use the same philosophy. So, as a person, you have certain value, and you want to draw people who value you, and not the other way around. Chasing
Yeah.
people and their company,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that comes from an abundance mindset. And so, yeah, it's all kind of interrelated. It's a big virtuous cycle.
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the day, we all want to try to build our value, and attract success, not just chase success. There's a very important distinction and a very fine line between the two. Chasing success and attracting success. A lot of people think it's more or less the same thing, but it has its differences. And at the end of the day, we want to attract success more than chase success.
Yeah. Just one more thing, because I started with nature, like Mother Earth itself. If you look at what you can learn from the Earth, so if there are so many species, right from the small invisible bacteria to us, the human beings, there were like even bigger species like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs roamed the Earth for millions and millions of years, even longer than the humans. But why do you think only the human beings have been able to, reach the top? We are the best of the species so far that has lived on Earth. Maybe there could be some better species in the future, because evolution is always going on. But why human beings are the best? Because they were the ones who were able to control the environment around them. They were the ones who were able to build something from the earth, using the materials of the earth.
Yeah.
They exerted their will, and they built something out of it, which no other species could do. So from an evolutionary viewpoint, if you're a person who is red pill, and if the definition of they would call it alpha. I don't want to classify people alpha,
Yeah.
beta, gamma, delta, and so on. A person who is dominant is a person who exerts the maximum influence or control upon the environment that he is in. Just remember this. I think this is the one big uh, truth that I would take out of the entire Red Pill philosophy, and just from looking around me from the earth.
Yeah, it's something that you'll observe in all your social circles as well. There's always that one or two leaders in the group who, even if they're not people that everybody likes, but I can guarantee you that they're people that everybody respects. And this is something true about red pill philosophers, red pill believers, sorry, and also dominant people, dominant and just being unreactive to everything around you. So I'd like to know from the audience, from you guys who are watching the video, um, what do you adopt more in your life, blue pill or red pill, and why do you do that?
Yeah, or if this is something completely new to you, you can just take a step back, relate yourself to certain experiences that you had in your life, and then just think like which of those interactions that you had in your life were blue pill, were actually red pill, where you sensed certain people were dominant, or even in your life where in which environment did you feel that you were dominant, where you did something different. Just give us some examples, so we can also read them, and we are also learning, by the way. Everybody is learning, like in life. There is there is so much, I mean, vast ocean of knowledge. You can't learn everything in your entire life. So it would be good for us to know as well, and then reflect. We can have a discussion. Probably it could be a follow-up podcast. Yep.
So yeah, hope to see you soon, talk to you soon, and hope to receive your comments and feedback as well. Anything else?
All right. So thanks, Neel. It was a good discussion, and thanks to you viewers as well.
You can follow our channels, Drunken Dabbler